Hello students, welcome back to the online classes of physics. This is your name mom is back again with a new lesson, chemical bonding. So in our previous classes we have already learned about the electrons. Yes, what are electrons? Electrons are nothing but what are electrons we have learned in our previous class? We have learned that electrons, they are nothing but the small elementary particles in an atom with negative charge. Yes, with negative charge. Then what are protons? We have learned that protons and neutrons are the positively charged particles in an atom. Yes, then so what is chemical bonding here? What is bonding? Chemical in the sense there is some chemical, bonding is nothing but linking. Okay, so that means there is some link going to be done here between the two different atoms. So two different atoms are going to link with each other and form a new atom or element or a molecule. Okay, so we can also say that two different atoms are going to combine and form one different or a new molecule. Yeah, so let us take an example of NaCl. Okay, suppose NaCl, this is nothing but a salt. What is this? This is a salt. NaCl is nothing but a salt. So what you can say, see, if you are taking a salt container and you are just shaking it. Okay, so suppose this is the salt which is NaCl and you are just simply shaking it. So after shaking it, do you find Na plus and Cl minus ions getting separated? No, they are not getting separated. That means what? These two particles are linked or held together or bond together very tightly. Bond together very tightly. Okay, so that means these two elements or atoms are getting bond together very tightly so that they are not separated when you are shaking it. Okay, so by the late 19th century, what has happened, or you can say even in the early 20th century, scientists knew about three types of forces. They have learned about three types of forces: gravitational force, magnetic force, and electrostatic force. So what were those? Gravitational force, magnetic force, and electrostatic force. Yes, so these were the three types of forces that scientists were knew. They also knew about the existence of electrons and protons. So it was believed that the electrostatic forces were the cause of attraction between the positive and the negative electrons. Okay, positive and the negative ions. So when the two atoms come sufficiently close together, the electron of each atom experiences the attractive force of the nucleus. So what is happening? See, if the electrons are negative and negative charge, then they are getting repelled. They are getting pushed away from each other. Whereas if it is having one positive charge and one negative charge, then you can see that these electrons are attracted towards each other. So this attraction, there is supposed to be said that this attraction is due to the electrostatic force. Okay, this attraction is due to the electrostatic force. So you can say that both the electrons which are negatively charged and repel each other. So they are getting what? They are getting repelled here. And here you can say that they are attracted towards each other. Fine. The positively charged nuclei also repel each other. As negative negative charge, positive charge also repel each other. They just get pushed away from each other. So the strength of an attraction or repulsion will decide the bond formation. So whatever the strength is between these ions, you can say that they form the strength of the combination. Suppose if the attraction is more than the repulsion, if attraction is more than the repulsion, this will say that they can combine. Okay, they can be a combination of two, suppose A and B. So if you can say that if the repulsion here is less, repulsion is less, okay, and attraction between them is more, then you can say that there is more possibility to form a bond between these two atoms. Okay, if repulsion is more and attraction is less, then you can say that there is very less possibility of forming a bond between the two atoms. The nucleus and the electron in this inner shell remain unaffected. They are not even getting affected. Just this is between the electrons and the nucleus. Now if you see which of the electrons are responsible for the formation of chemical bond between the two different atoms. So which of the electrons are responsible for the formation of bond between the two different atoms? So this is only possible by the electrons present in the valence shell. Okay, electrons present in a valence shell are only responsible for the bond formation. Okay, if there is some electrons present in the outermost shell where they can have a possibility to get donated or borrowed, gained, then you can say that they will be the formation of bond with the another atom. In the previous class, we have even learned about the exothermic and endothermic reaction, right? Exothermic reaction is nothing but what it is. Endothermic reaction means here the energy, that is heat, when they are heated, you can see that the heat energy is absorbed. You can see that heat energy is absorbed, whereas in exothermic reaction you can say that there is a release of heat energy. Release of heat energy. Some elements are more reactive and some elements are less reactive. Yes, so when they are going these reactions, it can be endothermic reaction, exothermic reaction. They can even be more reactive and they can even be less reactive or less reactive. So with this we end up today's video. Thank you for watching.